Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachary. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, but by now I'm sure you guys all know the drill. We got quite a few things going on in the NBA that we need to talk about, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Lego. James Harden has probably been the most talked about player in the NBA outside of course, LeBron James for the past couple of months, as he is still on a historic run in which every game that he plays, he's upping the ante for what it will take to beat him as the player who holds the record for the most consecutive 30+ point games since the NBA-ABA merger. The man has been on an absolute scoring tear for the past 2 months, including scoring a new career high 61 points in the Rockets game earlier on in the night, but we'll touch on that a little more later on in the video. But for now, long story short, just to summarize how great James Harden has been over the past 2 months, he has been averaging over 40 points per game over the Rockets' last 20 games, which means that most of the people watching this, myself included, have never seen anything like this before. The only people who have seen something like this before are the people who are alive to watch Wilt Chamberlain play. And according to Harden, that's a conversation that he's looking to get into. He's trying to be in the same conversation as NBA legends such as Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan, as this is what he had to say yesterday. That's one of the reasons you play the game of basketball, to be, when it's all said and done, mentioned as one of the greats, the greatest that ever dribbled a basketball, whether it's Wilt, whether it's Jordan, and the list goes on. Obviously, you want to win championships and you want the individual accomplishments, but every day when I'm in the gym working on moves, I'm thinking about that. Continuing on to say, when I'm done, whenever that is, I want my name to be up there with them. That's a good place to be in. That's one thing that I always wonder about the NBA. In 20 to 30 years from now, how will the future generation of basketball fans look back on players like James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, any of the elite level players that are in the league right now? How will we remember them compared to future generations who don't know as much about these players as we do? That's going to be very interesting to see how the rankings of all time change. We have an update on the Mike Conley and Marc Gasol trade watch, and the update is that it's been confirmed that the Memphis Grizzlies are looking to trade both Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, and those sources who confirmed this were Mike Conley and Marc Gasol themselves. As before the Memphis Grizzlies game against the Charlotte Hornets, reporters caught up to both Marc Gasol and Mike Conley to ask them for their feelings about the Memphis Grizzlies looking to trade them away, and that's exactly when Mike Conley confirmed that the Grizzlies came to him and said that they're looking to trade him.
You know, Robert called me yesterday just to make me aware that they were going to go about doing this, so outside of that, man, I hadn't really thought about it or heard much about it.
However, even though Mike Conley says this, he also did say that the Grizzlies didn't make any promises and that they said that they were going to try and trade him, that his name will be out there, but there is no guarantee that he or Marc Gasol get traded in the end.
Yesterday was the first time we had talked about it. Previously, we hadn't talked about trades or myself or Mark or anybody else involved in any of that stuff, so yesterday was the first time of me being aware of it.
And with that being said, please, for the love of God, Mike Conley, find your way to Detroit. Reggie Jackson just isn't cutting it. DeMarcus Cousins is looking to stir things up in the NBA once again, as the man just did an interview, and in this interview, he once again backed up the claims that he made early on in the summer when he first signed with the Golden State Warriors, saying that no other team was offering him a contract. No one else wanted him, so he went to Golden State. And he also said that he feels he and Anthony Davis could have been something special in New Orleans, but the front office messed it up. The people I reached out to, man, the teams I was talking to, and they slammed the phone in my face. They all slammed the door shut on me. I wish I could save those conversations, but it's done with. I reached out to teams with the same offer as Golden State just to see, and here's what he had to say about AD. I think about our pairing all the time. Me and AD talk about it. It's messed up. It could have been something great. It could have been special, but other people had different things in mind. That's out of our control. I wish that DeMarcus Cousins was able to tell us exactly what teams that he took the offer that he went to Golden State to, just so we could see whether or not this is true. Because if this is true, then every GM and every executive on that team needs to be fired ASAP. If no team was willing to give DeMarcus Cousins $5 million for this season, then every other team in the NBA is just stupid. That being said, I find it hard to believe that a lot of teams would have passed up DeMarcus Cousins for a 1-year $5 million deal. So this very well could be a case still of DeMarcus Cousins trying to justify his move to go to the Golden State Warriors. That though is going to do it for all of the off the court news. So now let's take a look at what's actually going on the court. Let's take a look at the games going on in the NBA. Indiana Pacers star Victor Oladipo is out. And I'm for sure sending prayers his way because this was painful to watch, as during the second quarter of the Pacers vs Raptors game, Victor Oladipo suffered a knee injury. And according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, this very well could be a season-ending injury. Preliminary exams left Pacers with the fear that Victor Oladipo has suffered a season-ending knee injury that will require surgery, and he will undergo a full MRI later on today. Man, that's absolutely terrible. The Pacers were in the middle of a fantastic season. They were right there in the Eastern Conference, the 3rd seed, right up there with both the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks, and now this. And once again, prayers up to Victor Oladipo, wishing him a healthy and speedy recovery. And I honestly feel so bad for every Indiana Pacers fans out there. That being said, the Pacers still did manage to win this game even without Victor Oladipo over the Toronto Raptors, 110-106 the final score. Thaddeus Young stepping up with 23 points and 15 rebounds. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, James Harden just set a new career high for scoring with 61 points in the Rockets' 114-110 win over the New York Knicks. 61 points and 15 rebounds, as well as 5 steals on 17 of 38 shooting, including 5 of 20 from 3. These 3-point attempts are just getting ridiculous, but so are the free throw attempts. 22 of 25 from the free throw line for James Harden. And this performance drew a mixed reaction from the crowd at the Madison Square Garden, as he did get cheered when he actually hit a real shot, but the man got booed big time every time he went to the free throw line. And after the game, James Harden simply said that the crowd just couldn't make up its mind. They couldn't figure out what they wanted to do, but I appreciate them though. Honestly, tonight they kept me going and made the game exciting for me. And even though James Harden scored 61 points, it's kind of ironic that he did this right after the Houston Rockets got rid of Carmelo Anthony, because Carmelo Anthony is still the player who holds the record for the most points scored at Madison Square Garden with not 61 points, but 62. DeMar DeRozan broke out of the shooting slump that he has been in and scored 26 points on 12 of 19 shooting, go along with 9 rebounds, but it still wasn't enough as the Philadelphia 76ers get the near 122-120 win over the San Antonio Spurs. Joel Embiid leading the way for Philly, who were without Jimmy Butler in this game. Embiid with 34 points and 19 rebounds, while Ben Simmons did have a triple-double of 21 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds. After coming up short in their last game against the Portland Trail Blazers, the Utah Jazz get back in the win column with the 114-108 win over the Denver Nuggets. Donovan Mitchell continues his impressive play as of late with 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. No Kyrie Irving for Boston in this one, as he set out with flu-like symptoms, but regardless of that, the Celtics were still able to get the very easy 123-103 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Terry Rozier having himself a night with 26 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds, and he is a player that I will be keeping my eye on as the trade deadline approaches. I'd be very surprised if he's still with the Celtics, honestly. D'Angelo Russell, who was just named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, continues to shine for the Nets. This time, his 25 points and 10 assists got Brooklyn the 114-110 over the Orlando Magic. And then again, having a player like Spencer Dinwiddie coming off your bench helps a lot too, as he had 29 points. No Andre Drummond for Detroit and no Anthony Davis from New Orleans, as Drummond is out with a concussion and AD will be out for at least a week with a hand injury. But it's not necessarily like Drummond is as important to the Pistons as AD is to the Pelicans, so Detroit should have been able to win this game, and they were. Barely. 98-94, the Pistons get the win thanks to Blake Griffin and his 37 points and 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Tobias Harris scores 31 points along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists as the Clippers get the 111-99 win over the reeling Miami Heat. Miami, after it looked like they were starting to turn their season around not too long ago, all of a sudden have lost 4 of their last 5 games. I think Mike Conley and Marc Gasol might have been trying to make a statement to the Grizzlies upper management, either that or they were just trying to up their own trade value in this game, as they both played great. Gasol with a triple-double of 22 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists, while Conley scored 31 points, but in the end, their combined efforts still weren't enough to beat the Hornets, 118 to 107. Kemba Walker scoring 22 points. And lastly for the day, John Collins scores a new career high of 35 points as the Hawks get to blow 121 to 101 win over the Chicago Bulls. And that is actually going to do it for everything that we gotta talk about today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, once again, go ahead and destroy that like button, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you can stay updated with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. And now it is time for the player of the day, where you guys can vote for who you think was the best player in the league last night by clicking the little eye icon at the top right hand corner of the video. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was none other than Paul George and his 36 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals in the Thunder's win over the Portland Trailblazers. Thank you once again for watching though. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but that being said, until tomorrow, I am out of here. Peace!